Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meet the Vets, brought to you by the Veterans Network. Here we sit down and have a conversation with veterans from across the company to learn how their military experience has helped them succeed here at NBCUniversal. I'm your host, Alexis Rodriguez, currently Telemundo's security manager and U.S. Army veteran. In today's episode, we'll be speaking with Marine veteran and Global Security Director for Telemundo LATAM and News, Michael Gundlach. How's it going, Mike? Welcome to the show.
Good. Thanks for having me, Alexis.
Absolutely. How's your days going?
Amazing. Loving it here at Telemundo.
Now, how long have you been with the company?
About 8 months. Came on board in April of last year.
Great. How's your experience been so far in the company?
Excellent. Best thing I've done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love coming to work every day. I mean, you see it with the people, you see it with the work. It's always something different here, and it's always an adventure working at Telemundo.
For sure. It's exciting to be with the news department, especially.
So where are you from, Mike? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born in Indianapolis to parents who were teachers. Shortly after I was born, they moved to upstate New York, in Kingston, New York. Yeah. And then at about 5 years old, we moved to Wisconsin, where I grew up.
Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned that, I have to ask, do you have your own cheese head?
I have 2 cheese heads.
2 cheese heads, wow. So how do you compare the lifestyle over there, living, the weather lifestyle, to what it is that you have now down here in Florida?
Well, as everybody knows, Wisconsin winters can be pretty severe. We have a joke. There's only 2 seasons up there, winter and July 4th.
Wow. Did you go to college up there in Wisconsin?
I did. I went to University of Wisconsin, Washington County for 2 years. And that's leading to why I ended up in the Marine Corps. So shortly after university, during university, I realized that I was a bit too immature and needed to make some changes. And so, I went to University of Wisconsin, Washington County.
Nice. So let's talk a little shop, Mike. What made you decide, or made you to sign up to the military, and why the Marines?
Yeah, so a couple of things. First, as I mentioned, in university, I was a bit too immature for university at that time. And in 1983, there was a bombing of the Beirut, the Marine barracks in Beirut.
Right.
And that sort of led me to, the combination of everything that was going on, me not being ready for university, and that incident made me decide to join the Marine Corps.
So you had kind of like a flick of action that made you want to go.
There was a spark, definitely. I don't come from a background in my family. There's no one in my direct family that was in the military, but that was something I needed to do. To do
for yourself?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, my story was kind of just, like yourself, that you didn't have any direction. You kind of weren't doing anything. And, I just decided one day, hey, you know what? I'm not going anywhere in school. I was the cliche party kid. And I just decided, you know what, let's sign up and get some adventure, get some, responsibility in life. And look, it worked out. I mean, at first I thought about the Navy, if you can be, surprised by that. I saw a commercial, and at that time their slogan was accelerate your life, right? They had these cool jets flying off of the carriers, and I was like, man, I want to be that guy. But then I walked into the recruiting office, and they told me, yeah, you might be shipped out on a boat for 6 months at a time. I'm like, oh, no, sorry, I can't do it. So, I mean, my dad was like, you got to go Air Force. You got to go Air Force. That's the best place to be. They have the best chow halls. They have the best barracks. And I'm like, nah, I want to get the real military experience. I want to go shoot guns and, camp in the woods and learn all that survival stuff. So wow, that's amazing that, you had that, that spark. I mean, for a tragic incident, but it made you, come to your calling.
Yeah, and I think also, growing up in a small town in Wisconsin, I wanted to get out and see the world, and I knew there was a special duty in the Marine Corps that would allow me to travel if I was able to get it, and so that was sort of also an impetus.
Nice. So what was your day-to-day? What was your job like in the Marine Corps?
So I went to boot camp out in San Diego. So I was a Hollywood Marine, as they call them in the Marine Corps. And I went in with an open contract. I had some addition to being immature. Part of that was also a driving record that wasn't spectacular.
Oh, nice.
So I had to go in open contract. And unfortunately, they put me on a desk job doing payroll. And that's not why I joined the Marine Corps at all.
Oh, that's exciting.
So yeah, very exciting. Nothing against payroll, but not for me. And so I put in for this alternate duty, the secondary billet, which was embassy duty. I was lucky enough to get through it and pass the course, and got to get out and start to see the world on embassy duty.
Nice. So what are the different posts that you have to do
So my
worldwide?
first post was the training for embassy duty is in Quantico, Virginia.
Okay.
And my first assignment was in the island of Grenada, in the Caribbean. A very brief period. We had an embassy and a detachment there right after the invasion. And my second post was Nairobi, Kenya.
Wow, in Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
How was
great.
that?
Was great because, first of all, in Nairobi, there's a game park right next to the city. So
you got to go on safari.
Got to do afternoon safaris after
Wow.
shift. Also got to go down and climb Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. It's not a technical climb, so it's just a hike and climb really high.
And you made it to the peak?
Yeah, made it to the peak, 19,240 feet, if I'm not mistaken.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that led to a lot of other things. But yeah, that was my military experience.
Wow. Did you get into any hairy situations or dangerous situations while you're on duty?
There were a couple ones on embassy duty. In Nairobi, I remember one time walking down the street with some friends, and a bunch of people came around the corner and assaulted one of my friends. I went over and pushed that person down, and then they all pulled out badges and yelled police at me. I don't think they were police, or if they were off-duty police creating havoc, but we got out of that one, thankfully. Nothing combat related, but yeah, embassy duty has its moments.
Has its moments, yeah.
There's small detachments. The detachment in Grenada was five NCOs and a staff NCO, and then the detachment in Nairobi was 9 plus 1. So
Okay.
they're really small detachments. There's no officers involved in those detachments. There are at the company level. But not within the detachment. So we ran our own shops.
Wow. It's interesting you say that you had these different posts in different parts of the world, and a lot of people, when they think of military, you think if you're going to be traveling to different places. I mean, a lot of times they just send you. You don't have a choice of where you're going. I mean, when I was in the Army, I got deployed within 2 years of being in. After being, going to basic training, I got sent to my unit, and then they're like, "All right, back up. You guys are going to Iraq." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm fresh. I'm still a private, and it's just a completely different world over there. I mean, it's like nothing you've ever seen when you get there, right? And sometimes you can't choose your duty station, right? After you've been in for so long, you have a choice. They give you like, okay, pick your top 3 posts that you want to go to, and then they play the lotto on it to see where they're sending you.
Right.
But it's amazing the places that you can get to see while you're in the military. So I'm gonna start calling you Mr. Worldwide.
No, thanks. I hope that doesn't stick. But no, I think you've hit it on the nose. The ability to travel and the ability to be with, not only go to other cultures, but also work with people in the military that you might not have been exposed to. Like I said, I'm from a small town in Wisconsin, so I had in my boot camp, I had an Inuit from Alaska. I had a guy from the Philippines in my boot camp. I'd never run into anyone like that, prior to joining the military. And then, I think that's what's great about the military. It brings so many cultures, but when you get down to it, we're all green, or in the case of Navy, Navy, I guess blue as well. So
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that point. I mean, that's a big factor on the teamwork side, right? You go into basic training, and then they still, all the exercise and working together as a team to go towards one mission, to complete that mission as one. So it's no longer the issue of color of skin, your height, your race, whatever. Everybody's green, everybody's tan, everybody's camo, and we're all working towards that same goal. And that that transcribes into today's world where we're at, in the corporate world. We have each our individual titles, but we work together as a team. No matter our differences, and look how great, everybody works out here at Telemundo. It's such a diverse group of people here. Yeah. That, the teamwork just shines here.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. You extract those good things from your military experience, leadership, that kind of stuff. The experiences you extract from it. That's what makes a Veterans Network so good.
Absolutely. So how do you think the military and all that training and all that experience that you had helped you prepare for your current job here at corporate world?
Yeah, so in leadership, what we just mentioned, the leadership principles. In addition, in my case, so after my military experience, I stayed working as a contractor for the State Department and
Okay.
kept traveling. So I worked around the world in Africa and Latin America. And then after that, did a brief stint in corporate security with Coca-Cola, and then went back working for a private security overseas again. And I think all that, with the foundation of the military experience, leading
Right.
to all that, being able to come on board with NBCUniversal Telemundo, as a Spanish speaker, as somebody who had lived in Latin America for 25 years, that had a security background. I think it all, that foundation, like I said, it all comes back to the military that led me to being able to come on board with Telemundo.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, when they think military, it's guys shooting guns, right? Kind of stereotypical, muscle heads or whatever. But there's a lot more to the military than just shooting guns, camping, survival training. It teaches you things like you mentioned, leadership, teamwork, focus, responsibility. So all of those are attributes that have nothing to do with combat. It shapes you as a person, as a man or a woman, to become a leader to wherever it is that you go to, either, a corporation, a company, if you run your own business. And it really helps you, portray yourself at a higher standard. And it's not only just for yourself, right? We work as a team every single day, and it flows within your team. Not only, your leadership. People see that and they start to pick up on that and try to like, hey, that guy, he's a good leader. Let's follow him. Let's follow that guy's lead or that woman's lead, and help, attain that goal, that mission together.
Yeah, exactly. I think veterans are like the prime examples of great mentors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's so many skill sets that, we both know multiple veterans, and if you can think of a job, there's probably a veteran who's got a great experience doing it, right?
Right. And to that point, that's how the National Guard is actually. So after you do your active duty, you go to National Guard and you do a regular J job as a civilian, right? So you can be a plumber, you can be a carpenter, you can be a salesman, but at the same time, you're a soldier, a Marine, an airman, whatever. And they bring that back to their business or, their job, that training that they have from the military.
Absolutely.
So how do you think, with all the training and now in your position in the corporate world, where do you see yourself in about 5 to 10 years?
Wow, so 5 to 10 years. What I'll first do is go backwards 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
About 7 years ago, I had my own battle. Wasn't on the combat field. My battle was with cancer.
Wow.
And when I was at my worst, I had no idea where I'd be in 5 to 10 years, let alone 5 to
Right.
10 weeks or months. My call was pretty close. So in 5 to 10 years from now, I hope I'm still doing what I'm doing here at NBC Telemundo. I'm bored. I love my job here. So
Great.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, thank you for sharing that part. About your cancer, and I'm glad that, worked out for you and that you're healthy, you're happy. And you're doing a great job here, Mike. So Mike is actually part of our team here, Global Security at Telemundo, and he's great. He's a fantastic teamwork. He works hard. And we're happy to have him. We're lucky to have him. And, thank you for sharing that part of your life.
One of the real quick on that point, one of the key groups, in addition to friends and family, that helped me through, and the medical team, of course, were vets.
Right.
My vet contacts all came through. You can make this. You're strong. Stay Marine strong. That kind of stuff.
Right.
And so it's a quiet network sometimes, but when it needs to activate, it activates really, really well.
Oh, absolutely. Vets, you can go to any fitness group or any hiking group that are made for vets, and it's like they accept you with open arms no matter your difference, right? Because it's like a brotherhood. Once they know you're a vet, they're like, hey, come here, brother, and
Absolutely.
this and that. And it's just, it's a world of love when it comes to, veterans getting together.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Yeah. So, Mike, let's do a little rapid fire question
All right,
round. Okay?
let's do it.
So I want you to fire from the hip and
Okay.
tell me right off your chest, okay?
All right.
When I give you these answers.
Here we
these
go.
Questions. All right, so question number 1. Your favorite MRE. And for
Ooh.
those that don't know what an MRE is, it's a meal ready to eat. These are the training meals that we would get out in the field that literally come in a bag and in a box, and we'd have to boil it with water, right? It was like a little packet heater that we'd have to make. So it was kind of like a lotto lunch. You either got a really good one or you got a really bad one for the day.
So I'll give you both. Chili mac with lots of Tabasco sauce,
I can
really
eat that
good
all
one.
day.
Really good one. And really bad chicken a la king with lima beans.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was like a chicken pot pie from hell.
Yeah, dog vomit.
That was really bad.
Yeah, not good.
I'm glad they took that out from the menu. All right, question number 2. Your favorite movie?
Oh, well, I'm going to do a multi-answer again here. So for a military movie, Full Metal Jacket, hands down.
Classic.
Defines the Marine experience and defines boot camp, I'm sure, for more than one branch of service.
Absolutely.
And then I'll go on the opposite end, unexpected, hilarious movie, Princess Bride. Just a nerdy, funny
Classic
movie.
comedy.
And
yeah,
then
absolutely.
we'll do for sci-fi, 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh, you can't go wrong with sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's what I love. Awesome. All right, number 3. If you can have a superpower, which would it be?
Wow, man, so many good ones. I'm gonna go with time travel, being able to go back and see what mistakes might be rectifiable in my life, and just take a peek into the future.
Well, you got to be careful with that, though. You guys might get the butterfly effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Change one thing and it messes everything else up.
Yeah, I'll stick with it and hope I don't screw the world up too much.
Okay. All right, number 4. If let's see, what's your hidden talent, if you have one?
Wow, so I'm a decent Texas Hold'em player, playing poker for sure, and probably not a secret after our team winning the
Team Cuba.
The Team Cuba
Soccer
World Cup
match.
soccer tournament, but I'm a decent soccer goalie.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, you're a good goalie. Come on. Give it to yourself.
Thanks.
All right, last question. And this one is catered just for you, just because you're a Marine.
Oh,
all
boy.
right. What's your favorite crayon flavor?
Favorite crayon flavor? Well, since you mentioned that,
Oh, look at this guy.
I brought my crayon
He's got
seeds
crayon seeds.
here. I don't have a favorite flavor, but if I were to have to select one, we'll go with Blood Stripe Red.
Blood stripe red, raw. Yeah, keep it military there. That's awesome, Mike. That's awesome. Well, Mike, it's been an honor and a pleasure talking with you today, sir. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to get to share your story. And I wish you nothing but the best and success in your career. And from one veteran to another, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Alexis, and I hope this project just takes off.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And remember, if you're a veteran or if you'd like to nominate a veteran to be featured on the show, reach out to us at meetthevets@NBCUni.com. Send us a message to connect. And stay tuned for the next exciting veteran story right here on Meet the Vets. Take care.